It is that feeling you get about 2 days before your paycheck arrives. You know the one I am talking about. You open your banking application with one eye slightly closed. You are almost afraid to look at the number staring back at you. It feels like you are holding your breath until that direct deposit hits, just trying to make it to Friday without some unexpected expense. That quiet little prayer for payday to come sooner. It is a shared secret for millions of us, is it not? A silent stress that just hums in the background of our lives. My name is Marcus, and I spend far too much time thinking about money. I think about the human psychology behind our financial choices. I wonder why some people seem to escape this cycle so easily, while others, well, we seem to run on that same treadmill for years. We run and never seem to get anywhere new. What if I told you that this struggle is not entirely your fault? What if the system was designed with invisible tripwires? Tiny, almost unnoticeable traps that keep us running in place. They are not obvious mistakes like buying a fancy car. They are much quieter and much more dangerous than that. Today, we are going to turn on the lights in the room. We are going to see these traps for exactly what they are. Understanding them is the first step to finally disarming them. It is the first step to breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. The first trap is something your bank probably sold to you as a feature. They likely called it overdraft protection or a cash reserve. I prefer to call it the illusion of a safety net. It feels like a helpful tool for emergencies, does it not? If you miscalculate, the bank has your back for a small fee. But the psychological effect is far more damaging than the fee. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you have $200 left in your checking account. The week is not over yet and you need to buy groceries. Your grocery bill comes out to $250. In a world without overdraft protection, you would have a problem. You would have to make choices, maybe put some items back. It is a moment of friction, a moment of real financial feedback. You would feel the immediate consequence of being short on funds. But with overdraft protection, that moment of friction disappears entirely. Your card works without any issue at the checkout. You get a small notification about the overdraft later. You might pay a $35 fee for the convenience. The trap is not the fee, as painful as that is. The trap is that you have mentally redefined your zero balance. Your real zero is no longer actually $0. It is now -$500 or -$1,000. You have given yourself a buffer to live in the red. This slowly and silently erodes your financial discipline. It teaches your brain that going into debt is a normal state. It becomes a crutch that you learn to lean on. Eventually, that crutch becomes a cage you cannot escape from. You start to see that -$500 as your new zero. You are constantly trying to climb back to just being broke. This is an incredibly difficult cycle to break. The solution is actually quite simple but mentally tough. You need to call your bank and reduce that overdraft limit. Bring it down to something very small like $100. Or better yet, you can remove it entirely from your account. You need to reintroduce that healthy financial friction into your life. You need to feel the real sting of having no money left. That feeling is a powerful teacher. It is what forces you to look at your spending honestly. It forces you to build a real emergency fund, not a debt-based one. A true safety net is money you have saved. It is not a line of credit that costs you more money. Reclaiming zero as your true baseline is a monumental first step. It is the foundation upon which financial stability is built. Now, let's talk about the second hidden trap. This one is the silent subscription creep. We all know about subscriptions, of course. The streaming services, the monthly boxes, the software we use. The trap is not that they exist. The trap is how they slowly inflate your cost of living. It happens so gradually that you do not even notice it. One day you sign up for a new music streaming free trial. You forget to cancel it and it becomes $9.99 a month. A few months later, a cool new application has a special offer. It is only $4.99 a month. A small price to pay. You add a subscription for a newspaper to stay informed. Then a cloud storage service because your phone is full. A fitness application to help you meet your health goals. Each one of these decisions feels small and isolated. What is $10 in the grand scheme of things, right? But they begin to stack on top of each other. They create a new financial floor for your life. This is the absolute minimum amount of money you need to survive. Maybe 3 years ago, your essential monthly bills were $1,000. Now, they might be $1,300. You did not buy a new house or a new car. You just slowly added these tiny financial leeches to your budget. That extra $300 is now gone every single month. It disappears before you even have a chance to think about it. That is $300 that could have gone to savings. It could have been used to pay down your debt faster. It could have been invested invested to build your future wealth. Instead, it is just vanishing into the digital ether. This is why so many people feel like they are working harder. They get raises at work, but they feel just as broke. Their income goes up, but their lifestyle cost goes up with it. The subscription creep is a primary cause of this phenomenon. The solution here requires a bit of detective work. You need to perform a full subscription audit, print out your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements, get a highlighter and mark every single recurring charge you find. Every single one, no matter how small it seems to be. Then, you have to ask yourself a very honest question for each one. Do I truly need this, or do I just want it? Am I getting enough value to justify this monthly cost? Be ruthless in your evaluation. You will likely find dozens of dollars, maybe hundreds, money that you're spending on things you barely even use. Cancel everything that is not absolutely essential for a month. See what you actually miss and what you completely forget about. You can always resubscribe later if you feel it is necessary. This audit resets your financial baseline to a healthier level. It puts you back in control of where your money is going. You are no longer a passive participant in your own spending. The third trap is a little more psychological. I call it the paycheck reward mentality. You have worked hard for 2 long weeks. You have dealt with difficult bosses or annoying customers. You have put in the hours and made the sacrifices. Then that beautiful direct deposit finally hits your account. Your balance suddenly jumps up by a significant amount. There is a powerful, almost primal urge that kicks in. It is the feeling that you deserve a reward for your hard work. You deserve to treat yourself to something nice. Maybe it is a fancy dinner out at a new restaurant. Maybe it is that new gadget you have been eyeing for weeks. Maybe it is a weekend trip to get away from it all. So you indulge in that reward. You spend a few $100s in the first few days after payday. It feels good in the moment, it really does. You feel like you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. But you have just fallen into a very dangerous trap. You have paid yourself last instead of paying yourself first. You have immediately depleted the resources for the rest of the month. That large sum of money created a temporary illusion of wealth. It made you feel richer than you actually were. So you spent it as if it would last forever. But by week 3, that illusion is completely shattered. You are back to anxiously checking your bank account balance. You are counting down the days until the next paycheck. You are trapped in the exact same cycle all over again. This happens because you view your paycheck as a lump sum to be spent. Wealthy people view their paycheck as a set of seeds to be planted. The very first thing they do is allocate money to their future. They pay their savings account first. They pay their investment accounts second. They pay their debt reduction goals third. Whatever is left over after that is what they live on. This is a profound shift in mindset. It changes your entire relationship with your income. To break this trap, you must automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer for the day after you get paid. Have a percentage of your income moved directly to a savings account. Move it to an account at a completely different bank if you can. This makes it harder to access and reverses the temptation. You are paying your future self before you pay for anything else. You learn to live on the remaining amount of money. It might feel tight at first, it probably will, but you will adjust to your new financial reality. Your reward is no longer a fleeting purchase. Your reward becomes watching your savings account balance grow. That is a feeling of satisfaction that no gadget can replicate. It is the feeling of building real, lasting security. Let's move on to the fourth hidden money trap. This one is the powerful illusion of small monthly payments. Our modern economy is built on this single psychological trick. Very few people can afford to buy a $30,000 car, but many people believe they can afford $500 a month. Very few people can pay $2,000 for the latest phone, but $80 a month seems perfectly reasonable. We have been conditioned to evaluate purchases based on the monthly cost. We do not focus on the total price we will end up paying. This is a cognitive bias that companies masterfully exploit. They break down a scary large number into manageable small chunks. It lowers our defenses and makes us feel in control. But we are not in control at all. We are signing up for years of financial servitude. That $500 car payment is not just a payment. It is a legally binding claim on your future income. For the next 5 or 6 years, a piece of your paycheck is not yours. It belongs to the bank or the financing company. When you finance a car, a phone, a sofa, or a television, you are selling a portion of your future freedom. You are making a promise to work to pay for a depreciating asset. The more of these monthly payments you accumulate, the worse it gets. Each one is like a small anchor being thrown overboard. Soon, you have so many anchors that your financial ship cannot move. Your entire paycheck is consumed by these past decisions. There is nothing left over to build a better future. This is the very definition of being stuck in the cycle. You are working simply to maintain the things you already own. You are not working to build wealth or create new opportunities. The solution to this trap is to force yourself to see the big picture. Before you agree to any monthly payment plan, do the math. Multiply the monthly payment by the number of months in the term. Add in the down payment and any interest charges. Look at that total number. That is the true cost of the item. Is that phone really worth $2,000 to you? Is that sofa worth $3,000 over 3 years? Often, seeing the total cost will completely change your perspective. It will make you question if the purchase is truly worth it. Start practicing the art of delayed gratification. Instead of financing, create a dedicated savings account. Automatically deposit money into it each month. Save up and pay for the item in cash. This process does something magical to your brain. It makes you value the item so much more. And sometimes, by the time you have saved the money, you realize that you do not even want the item anymore. You have broken the spell of instant gratification. You have taken back control over your income and your choices. That is a feeling of power that no new car can provide. This brings us to the fifth and final hidden trap. This one might be the most destructive of them all. It is the mindset of financial nihilism. This is the quiet belief that saving money is ultimately pointless. It happens when the mountain of your financial goals looks too high. You look at the cost of buying a house in 2026. You see that you need a down payment of $100,000. You look at your current savings of $1,000. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is enormous. It feels completely and utterly impossible to bridge. So a dangerous thought starts to creep into your mind. Why should I even bother saving? Why should I skip a nice dinner out to save $50? That $50 feels like a single drop of water in an ocean. It will not make any real difference in the grand scheme of things, so you might as well just spend the money and enjoy your life now. This is a deeply seductive and self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you believe saving is pointless, you do not save. And because you do not save, you never make any financial progress. You remain exactly where you are, proving your own belief was correct. It is a perfect loop of financial stagnation. This mindset is particularly common among people with large student loans. They see a debt of $60,000 hanging over them. They feel like they are starting the race from behind the starting line. The idea of ever being wealthy seems like a fantasy, so they give up before they even truly begin the journey. Breaking this trap requires a radical shift in your focus. You have to stop looking at the top of the mountain. You need to focus only on the very next step in front of you. Your goal is not to save $100,000 right now. Your goal is to save your first $1,000. Then your goal is to save your first $5,000. Then you aim for $10,000. These are achievable milestones that build momentum. Every time you hit one of these smaller goals, you get a win. That win gives you a shot of dopamine and a feeling of accomplishment. It proves to your brain that progress is possible. You have to celebrate these small victories along the way. Saving your first $1,000 is a huge deal. It is the first step towards building a financial fortress. You also need to understand the power of compound interest. That small amount of money you save today is your most valuable asset. It has the most time to grow and work for you. Even $100 invested today can become thousands over time. You have to trust in the process, even when it feels slow. Wealth is not built in a single day or a single year. It is built through thousands of small, consistent, and boring decisions. It is the decision to save $50 instead of spending it. It is the decision to invest that money wisely. It is the decision to do that over and over again for years. You have to replace that feeling of hopelessness with a feeling of agency. You are in control of your financial destiny. It starts with that very next dollar that you choose to save. So there they are. 5 hidden traps that keep us stuck. The false safety of an overdraft. The slow and silent creep of subscriptions. The temptation of the paycheck reward. The powerful illusion of small monthly payments. And the paralyzing hopelessness of financial nihilism. They are not just financial concepts. They are the hidden architecture of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. They are the reason for that knot in your stomach. They are the quiet stress that follows you around all month. But seeing them is the first step to disarming them. Knowing what they are gives you the power to fight back. You can reset your real zero balance. You can perform a ruthless subscription audit. You can change your payday routine to pay yourself first. You can learn to see the total cost behind a monthly payment. And you can start to climb your financial mountain one single step at a time. The goal is not to become a millionaire overnight. The goal is to not have to check your bank balance with one eye closed. The goal is to finally step off that treadmill for good. It is about building a life with a little more breathing room. A life with a little less anxiety and a lot more freedom. And that journey can start for you today.